Code of Corporate Governance for Listed Companies, Banks and DFIs. Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. This is Imran Hussain Minhas and I welcome you to this first session on Code of Corporate Governance. I have worked with several organizations including Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. I am MPhil in Banking and Finance and have keen interest in the Islamic finance, principles of corporate governance and business ethics. I am going to discuss the corporate governance, particularly with reference to its application to listed companies, banks and DFIs operating in Pakistan. Objectives. The goal of this presentation is for you to come away from it knowing how amazing corporate governance is for the organization and to provide guidance on promotion of corporate governance in your respective areas. Give rationale for adoption of Code of Corporate Governance mainly on the regulations issued by the SECP and Corporate Governance Regulatory Framework issued by the State Bank of Pakistan. Key course contents. 1. Introduction. What and why Code of Corporate Governance? 2. Incentives and basic tools of corporate governance. 3. International developments. What different international agencies are doing on codes and principles of different committees and forums in the world. 4. Role of Board of Directors, composition, members, meetings, issues to be placed for decision, remuneration and training programs. 5. Role and requirements for CFO, Company Secretary and Head of Internal Audit. 6. Responsibility for financial reporting and corporate compliance. 7. Committees of the Board, internal, external audit, reporting, disclosure. Importance of corporate governance. Poor oversight by boards, absence of truly independent directors were the significant factors in weakening the effectiveness of boards. These problems were compounded by poor quality of financial disclosures and ineffective external audits, lack of auditor independence and conflict of interests. Coupled with some others, these were the major issues to address by the regulators. Corporate governance goes beyond measuring success or failure in terms of profit and share value. It works like traffic signals for identification and management of various risks, for proactive decision-making and for initiating prompt corrective actions. Its ultimate aim is avoiding systemic bank failures, maximizing value of banking business in terms of quality products, wealth and employment, and enabling the banking sector to play an active role in the economic development of the country. In practical terms, corporate governance in banks maps all point of responsibility, power and accountability in 3 dimensions: board, management and other employees, auditors and regulations, and society at large. The unique role of commercial banks in liquidity generation, as financiers and appraisers of businesses, and in devising project finance structures for companies requires a broader and more elaborate governance framework. Governance is the focal of today's efforts to improve life in entirety, quality of output, efficiency and delivery of products of an organization, and ensuring the best value for money. To govern means run, rule and dominate with authority and policies and procedures of an organization. It is synonymous to influencing and determining the course of action, while specifying the methods of controlling the events and activities so that outputs are optimized in terms of quantity and quality and timeliness. Both the theory and practice tell us that there is multiplicity of factors shaping governance of a business. Therefore, businesses need to be governed by a set of rules, which reflect interest of all stakeholders. These rules of the game for businesses are an important dimension of reform processes in both sophisticated, developed and developing economies alike. Countries that ignore or lag behind in corporate governance reform will rapidly find themselves at a competitive disadvantage in attracting long-term capital for growth. On one hand, corporate governance is about setting up a system of entrusting the directors and managers with responsibilities in relation to running corporate affairs and, on the other hand, it is concerned with the accountability of those directors and managers. Definition of corporate governance. There are multiple definitions of corporate governance. Some popular definitions are: 1. Corporate governance involves a set of relationships between a company's management, its board, its shareholders and other stakeholders. 2. Corporate governance also provides the structure through which the objectives of the company are set, and the means of attaining those objectives and monitoring performance are determined. OCED. 3. It is a system by which companies are directed and controlled. Cadbury Committee. 3. Corporate governance signifies the manner in which business and affairs of the corporations are directed and managed by their board of directors and senior management. In any organization, board and the management are the main decision makers, and ideally, they cherish to serve the interests of all stakeholders. The stakeholders means sponsors, employees, customers, suppliers, regulators, government and the society an organization works for and lives within. The whole gamut of corporate governance lies in concepts like transparency, accountability, merit, ethic, fairness and responsibility in following terms. 1. Transparency. Through checks and balances like auditing committees, external and internal audit systems, which are free of interference by decision makers. 2. Accountability. All who have enjoyed power through a strong set of rules are answerable to sponsors as well as society. 3. Mapping responsibility. Both vertical and horizontal, so that responsibility is taken by those who make the decisions. 4. Disclosure. In a company, nothing should be hidden for long and without reason. 4. Once a decision has been made, it should be known to all. Please wait for our next video on this topic. Keep sharing knowledge with your other friends. Thanks for watching.